Doncaster Mile, over 1,600 metres, of course, the Group 1, 20 runners. This mounting yard brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence, need advice, they're there to help. Let's get through the 20. One is Melody Bell, the 10-time Group 1 winner, Opie Boss and Jamie Richards.
Oh, what a fantastic Kiwi mare she is. She might not be any no Sunline, but who is? She's a champion mare in her own right with those 10 Group 1s in the bag. Held up, should have finished closer last start. Soft track's a huge plus for her here, and I think she's figuring in the finish even with that weight.
Yeah, absolutely. You couldn't knock her on what she's done to date. And as you said, she was very unlucky last start in that All-Star Mile. Looking at her today with fresh eyes, she looks absolutely primed to perfection. She's got a beautiful coat on her, which is so important with mares. She's carrying great condition. She looks as though she's in a good headspace the way she walks around and leads this field out. And she's going to certainly take a power of beating looking like this.
The Epsom Golden Eagle winner, Kolding, Hugh Bowman, Chris Waller.
Yeah, he's in good shape. Blinkers off today, but he's just been a touch off the boil at his past two. Maybe it's Melbourne. He did win the Epsom on his only run at this track and distance on the soft. Look, I can't say he's too good a horse that you could say no to.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's probably the thing with him is that the key is seeing him back here in Sydney. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. And as you said, he's too good a horse to put the line through. So I give him an opportunity to bounce back, but he's hard to really tip with confidence.
Homesman, natural winner, Anthony Freedman.
5 weeks in a trial since first up. He's a tough competitor, good second up stats. Plenty of work to do from the draw, but he's got plenty of time to do it down that long back straight here.
Yeah, he's a big burly customer. He looks as though he's carrying plenty of condition, but you can see naturally he would do that through his midsection. He was a roly-poly type when I saw him first up. He does, however, have some decent definition over his hindquarters, so he's obviously done plenty of work to be ready for the mile. It's just he's a really big burly type.
Kingswell Dream, Josh Parr, Chris Waller.
Tick-over trial since the Australian Cup, back to a mile here, but proven big-time performer in the past, some hope.
Yeah, he parades nicely as well, Ronnie. He's quite an athletic individual and doesn't carry any weight. He carries plenty of weight naturally, so he looks as though he's in good order.
Mr. Seawolf, number 5, the winner of the Gong, James McDonald, Chris Waller.
Yeah, he's a terrific old horse. He did enough first up. He seems to go best for McDonald, and he's had a little tick-over trial since the Canterbury Stakes.
Looks in great shape. He'd definitely have to go into my numbers based on this parade. Good coat, healthy individual, carrying condition.
Best of days, Jason Collett, James Cummings.
Okay, first up on the rider. We're not in a race, not run to suit after a slow start, but just hasn't won in a while.
He's taken improvement from that first up performance, so that's going to hold him in a good position to improve, but he still needs to.
Queensland Derby winner, Mr. Quickie, Philip Stokes, Glyn Schofield.
I'm thinking he's the best long shot here. Look, he found trouble first up in that All-Star Mile with no room, kept nice and fresh here. I want to include him at odds.
Yep, you'd have to say that he's going to give himself every opportunity to run well. I haven't seen much of him previously, but looking at him today, he looks as though he's in good order and he should be able to finish off strongly at the end of this mile.
The Caulfield Guineas winner, Super Seth, Robbie Dole and Anthony Freedman.
Huge improver. I don't know about him on a heavy, but you have to forgive after a setback there. Just drag back from that wide draw and a race run to suit. Total forgive. Better draw here. Ridden closer. Great race for 3-year-olds.
Yeah, he was my pick of the yard last start in the rider, and I thought that he presented in great order on that occasion, and today is absolutely no different at all. He's probably a little bit more settled and relaxed, but he's a great looking type. He's very athletic looking overall, and he's got a beautiful coat, very healthy and shiny on him, so he could definitely bounce back.
Yulong, Prince, Brenton Avdulla, Chris Waller.
Yeah, I've been on his back this time in. I'm waiting to hit 2,000 metres, but I can't wait. I've had something on him today. Love the way he's going. Soft track plays into his hands. I like the Ajax form, and yeah, I can't let him go round without me.
Yep, he looks in great order, and he was very good, as you said, in the Ajax. And of course, the Ajax has produced Doncaster winners like it somewhat, but he is a horse that is just going in the right direction as far as his fitness is concerned, and he's another one you could give an opportunity to run well.
He's the baldy face of Cascadian, number 10, Tommy Berry, James Cummings.
Well, he's found his confidence at last after a good ride last week. More depth here, and needs plenty to go right.
Yes, he does. Look, it's been well documented that I've said how well well he has come back this preparation. He's a much more acclimatised horse. He seems to present well, and he was able to get that confidence-boosting win on the board last start.
PARTIRO's out the front, number 11, Tim Clark for Waterhouse and Bod. In fact, it's just going through the tunnel now.
Yeah, she has her moments. She's a tick-over trial since winning the Coolmore on a heavy track, and you can never count Gay out of a Doncaster mile. We've learnt through that through experience.
Yeah, she's positively sweet today. Looking at her, she seems as though she's in a reasonably good mood, which is sometimes a good thing with her. But she's presented well. She's in great form, and there's no reason why she can't back up a good performance like she did in the Coolmore.
Imaging, number 12, Kerry McAvoy, Chris Waller.
Like him, a lightly raced import. He's got a great style of race for him here. Ladies' cards on the table. Winning the Ajax, just needs luck, and he has got gate speed, so I think he's primed.
Yes, he is primed. He's primed as far as the way he's been placed, and he's primed as far as the way that he's presented today. He's in his peak condition. He's got a great, healthy coat. He's also got that fitness now on his side. He's had a few toughen-up runs as well, and he's obviously going to be right in the finish.
13, Quackerjack, the Villiers winner, Rachel King, Mark Newnham.
Yeah, makes his own luck. He loves the Randwick mile. Wet's okay, gets in light, looks the likely leader. The fence is holding up. Lots of ticks for him. Yeah, 4-time winner over the Randwick mile, so has to be included in your numbers when you're looking at those types of stats. He presents pretty similar to how he has done in previous runs. He's always been fit throughout this preparation. He can sometimes get a bit warm, but today he seems to be keeping it together, and overall he should be able to run up to his looks.
Star of the Seas, Sam Clippert and Chris Waller.
He was good winning first up. Total forgive last week, missing the start, finding the wrong lane. Good surprise. Wet track suits.
He could surprise. He's could definitely bounce back. He's been very much forward in condition throughout this whole preparation, so even his first run I thought he wasn't too far off the mark. He looks to me as though he's maintaining his condition, and he's another one of those horses that's presented in their best possible order.
Tally, Kathy O'Hara, James Cummings.
Yeah, look, he's first up here. Tough race to resume in from the draw. I'd prefer a few others. Yeah, it is a tough race, but he's turned out well, and he can sprint well fresh, although he is carrying a bit of extra condition.
Night's Watch, Hieronymus and Waller.
Perfect ride to win last week. Much tougher here, but has the talent, but would have to lift. Yes, would have to lift on recent performances. I nearly got run over by Brandenburg there, but he hasn't taken any improvement from that last start performance, just maintained his condition.
Shared Ambition, Jay Ford, Chris Waller.
Yeah, look, he's a lightly raced horse with a real X factor here. I think the rain has actually helped him. He looks a real stayer back from 2,000 metres, but I don't doubt his credentials. He's a talented horse. He looks magnificent. He looks really, really well. He is at the peak of his fitness now. He is just looks in really good shape. The coat's improved, the fitness is improved. He's definitely got up in my expectations.
Doing our best to get through these 20 runners. We're up to number 18, Natoya, going through the tunnel, James Innes and Wendy Roach. We'll
talk about good long shots. Her sectionals have been off the chart in 2 runs back. I can't treat her too lightly.
Yep, another one who paraded well. She's quite settled and relaxed today, which is something that you always have to keep an eye on with her. And as you see, she's walking out there quite relaxed and switched off. Wendy walking alongside her, and she should be able to run up to her looks.
Right, and here's the 19, Brandenburg. Glenn Boss, John Sargent.
Well, informed 3-year-olds usually run well. They're hard to beat. Good draw. Gets the Glenn Boss seal of approval. Mapping well. And I thought he was short enough in the market, but he's a bit better priced now.
Yeah, Glenn Boss seems to be very good at picking the right horse for a Doncaster. He's been able to do it 7 times, and Brandenburg looks to be that type of horse that can definitely win this race. He has maintained his condition all the way through this campaign. Interesting that they stepped him back in distance into the rider, and he looks as though he's absolutely thriving. So another one who's going to have a great chance at running very well.
And number 20, Prince FAWAZ, John Van Overmeer, Anthony Cummings.
Yeah, well, another one of these 3-year-olds who should be respected. Back to his best, showing good fight there in the Rosehill Guineas. I'm going to rather him step up than back in distance, though, but still, he's got the conditions that you might need a good 2,000 metre horse. He's got the spring in his step. You can see he looks as though he has freshened up well. He's always looked great throughout this campaign. That coat's always been really silky and showed that he's very healthy inside, but we have to remember he's only just started to return to formula a couple of runs ago, so I think he looks well. It's just he probably doesn't have the same credentials as Brandenburg.
Pick of the yard for the Star Doncaster. It is an amazing field that's been assembled and a difficult task to pick one that stood out, but I have to go with Shared Ambition on top. He just looks as though he is in the right frame of mind. He's got a great coach on him. He's got fitness now on his side, so he has to go on top. From Melody Belle, who looks an absolute picture, she's going to run a massive race. And of the others, I thought Mr. Seawolf has presented in great order, taking a lot of improvement from that first up performance.
What a race, what a race. 12, 9, 1 and 8. I could have 12 picks here. I'm going with the Ajax form. Imaging needs luck getting across. Seems to handle it going well. I think Yulong Prince is going to be strong. Third up here, getting much fitter with the recent racing. Of the others, Melody Belle, I know she's got the work in front of her here with 57 in a race like this, but to just look at her record, she's earned every kilo of that. And Super Seth, I think he's the best of the 3-year-olds. Best roughie, Mr. Quickie for me. 12, 9, 1 and 8.
Go wide here, $5.50 the field. Only 3 runners under $12. There's been a couple of firms in the middle pinners here. We've got Melody Belle, though. She's been on the bounce between $5 and $5.50 the majority of the day. Brandenburg, he's at 7. The best he got to was 8. Shared Ambition, best he's been all day is 9.